Hello, and welcome to Wednesday, the Day of Wens. Now, today I finished watching a show that I started not too long ago, and that show would be Castle. So, Castle is a show that I believe was just ABC. Yeah. I'm Wikipedia article. We love Wikipedia around here. It was it aired on ABC and went on for 8 seasons with 173 episodes. And I just finished watching that show today. There are a ton of episodes that I just kind of blew through these past couple of weeks. They've been definitely keeping me company, uh, ever since. I want to say, well, for the most of the summer, it's been the show that I've been watching, and today I managed to finish it. It's, well, let's talk about it. So the show revolves around the titular character, Richard Castle, who is a mystery novelist known for his series of books called Derek Storm. In the first episode, I believe, he ends up killing this character in hopes of something new, and, well, that something new pretty much lands in his lap. He is a kind of playboy bachelor, and just has a lot of money. And the story follows him, his daughter, and his mother. They live in New York City, and in the first episode, he is pretty much because he's a mystery crime novelist, he gets his own copycat killer who copies the murders out of his book. As a result, he's brought on to the case as a consultant and eventually, well, not eventually, pretty much immediately falls in love head over heels with his main love interest, Kate Beckett. And the whole show is about their interaction, along with the interactions of the police department, the 12th precinct, and mainly two detectives. You have what's his name? Oh my gosh, casting characters: Kevin Ryan and Javier Esposito. You also have the character Laney Parrish as the medical examiner, or the mortician, or whatever you want to call them, and as well as the police captain, Roy Montgomery, as well as Victoria Gates, and there are some other recurring characters as well. You also have another medical examiner. That's pretty much it. The people who, that's basically all you really need to know. There's plenty of other characters as well, but that's the whole premise of the show. It follows mystery crime writer following along. Yeah. So after the first episode where he gets off the case and we had to cut there because I had sneezed, because of the he's such a wealthy and famous character. Castle ends up striking a deal with the mayor that he gets to work on his next book series called Nikki Heat, based on Detective Kate Beckett. So he pulls some strings, and he gets attached to the hip as Beckett's partner, and they end up solving cases together. The chemistry is great. It's exactly the kind of thing I want out of a cheesy crime drama. And now I need to find a new one. Oh boy. Like I said, I love cheesy crime dramas where you have a character who is not necessarily police but works with the police, so you get to have them doing stupid stuff. Elementary is a favorite show of mine, and you have a very rich, very genius detective who, again, works alongside the police, and he is able to flaunt his money and use it to get whatever and whatever he whenever he wants. But most of the time, he just uses his wits. In this case, same thing with Castle. He makes up wild stories and tries to connect the dots where you have the detectives who think a lot more logically. You also have the writer who thinks more absurd. And Nathan Fillion really is just an extravagant kind of person. He brings so much life to the character that I absolutely love. It's a very fun show. It's not great, but it definitely kept me entertained for quite a bit of time, and it's very interesting stories that you hear about in this show. A lot of it because the guy is a writer who's into a bunch of nerdy and dumb stuff. He has all sorts of crazy things that he buys with this absurd amount of money that seems never ending. In one episode, he ends up buying a whole bar that becomes a regular becomes a regular place that they go to, that they say they go to after every couple of episodes. They're like, yeah, we'll buy you a round of drinks at this bar, and you never see or hear about this bar ever again other than that. He has Ferraris. He buys tickets to baseball and basketball games, front row seats for people when he needs a favor. He has poker games with other famous writers and very important people in New York City, and it's just really dumb and silly. But then you have crimes where they investigate just the weirdest kind of cases. Overall, it's just another crime show, and it's a very silly one, but it's just kind of the cheesy crime drama that I love. And it's pretty good and fun and what I want and what I need. Next up, who knows what show's gonna be on the docket, but this one is pretty great. The show has an overarching plot where they investigate what drives Beckett, and there's a whole story to that. And I think the show wraps up pretty nicely. It ends on an interesting note, but it ties up every loose end that you want, and you're not left asking any questions, and it goes pretty much how you expect it to go. But sure, it takes some twists and turns that I really didn't enjoy, but from episode to episode, when they're solving crime, that's when the show is at its best, and there are some definitely funny and great moments, and there are some that really just hit you really, really hard, that have you just wanting to watch the next episode over and keep going until, well, you finish the show. That's kind of what happened with me. I just kept watching this, and I know I was supposed to be watching Sailor Moon, but we'll get back to that in due time. But for now, I think that's what I'm going to call it for today, so thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow, and until then,